I'm Madison Siwak, and I'm here with a very special panel of guests. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves and your new titles?
Sure. Susan Moffett, Councilwoman.
Debbie Woolley, Clawson Mayor.
I'm Paula Milan. I also am a council representative for Clawson.
Well, I'm really excited to be here with you three. This is a very exciting election just a couple weeks ago. So the first thing that I want to ask you guys is that what was the first thought that popped into your head when you found out that you had won?
So to set the scene, I had worked the polls all day. I was tired. I lived like a homeless person outside all day. It was cold. I had a bunch of friends over the house, friends who had worked the polls, and we were trying to get everything settled, get everyone pizza ordered and everything. And my older son is living in Chicago, and so he called my younger son and said, "You got to look on the website. It's refresh it." So we finally got it refreshed and pulled it up, and was just kind of shocked. It was like, is that real? Is that
just disbelief? That's crazy.
And then we were just all so excited. Everyone screamed and hugged. It was funny because a bunch of people stayed at the house later in the day. And one of my good friends, she stayed pretty late. We stayed up talking every now and then. She'd go, "I can't believe you won." I go, "I know, I can't believe it either."
Oh, I love that. That's so fun.
So it was just a great time.
What about, because you're the mayor, that's pretty exciting. So what does that feel like?
You know, I cried because it's the hometown girl. I mean, to
Yeah.
think that I've been here since 1967 and to be the mayor, and to think that I wanted to do that when I was a senior year in high school.
That's amazing.
It's pretty rare that happens, and it's that kind of city. And so I was just very touched to support a family and friends in the community.
So it's like a full circle moment.
It was.
That's amazing. And what about you?
I was at home because I was so nervous and I really didn't want to know what was going to happen. And my daughter had called me. She's away at school. So we were FaceTiming, and then I was getting pings on my phone. So I was getting calls and texts like the numbers are in and they're good. And then I was overwhelmed, honestly, that people put their support in me and their trust in me. And I guess it was just that kind of a thank God moment that what we planned happened. And I was just kind of relieved that it was over, actually, that part, until the next morning. And then I was like, what was I thinking? But I'm really excited. I had great people supporting me, and the weather worked against me for campaigning and an illness in the family, but I had great supporters who helped with word of mouth, and I'm just really thankful that the community was behind me, because I feel like that really is what it was.
Well, that's fantastic. Those are all great answers. So what inspired you to run for office? So why'd you do this? So whoever wants to go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I grew up in a family where my father was a city council person. He served on Pontiac for 2 terms. And Pontiac is a lot larger than Clawson. I think it's 26 square miles as opposed to the 2 and whatever here. And we knocked on every door in the city twice, both times. And he served, and I got to know government a little bit. And then I pursued an education in political science and public administration because I just love the way the government operates. Yeah. I like that the citizen is the end user, and I like that you can do great things to improve people's lives and just the way they live. So I never thought I would run for that, run for an office though, but I've served on planning commission for 4 years, and I really liked the community here, and then I was encouraged by people in the community to take another step, and that's why I did it. But I just want to encourage family-friendly values and people who think the way I do, and just kind of keep our city safe and fresh and maintain our services. And I just feel like I am that person. I am everybody for the most part, except the people who think differently. But I feel like I represent a large population, and someone has to do it, so I did it.
Well, that's a good reason to run.
Yeah.
So what about you two?
Knowing that important politics start at the local level, and partially wanting to be involved in the political change that's happening in the country, but also for me personally, my kids are grown, and there was a time when I was a single mom raising 2 kids, working full time, and I was the Cub Scout den leader and the pack treasurer, and we did football, baseball, basketball, and I was on the athletic board. My days were full with all kinds of stuff. And now they're grown and they graduated from college and they're off on their own, and I go home and it's me and the dog and the Big Bang Theory. So, just looking to sort of fill my days again and be involved in something, and the city council seemed like a really appropriate thing to do that with.
Oh, fantastic. And mayor, I know you talked about this is your hometown and you always wanted to be mayor, so why now?
Well, when I ran for council, I mean, it was just, I like these two. I just was your regular mom, citizen, and here everybody can make a difference. And so I was inspired to do that and be a part of it and to help be our voices. So when Penny chose not to run, I thought this was a great opportunity and felt led to run. And so it was very humbling to actually win. But it's a place where you can make a difference. And everybody should just do a little bit. And if we all did a little bit, you can move mountains. So.
Exactly. So Clawson is a little city with a big heart. We all know that. But what are your plans to kind of take this motto and live by it as a council person, as mayor? So what are you going to do with that?
This is my turn to go first. I think we all just live it. And we just continue to be neighborly and look out for each other. And I just hope that we just continue to do that. And that's why I ran, is because I just want to keep the essence of the town. And so, for me, it's making sure people are aware of all of the charitable opportunities that are here, and what organizations to get involved with to make a difference. The AOK Kids group here, the Senior Center has so many opportunities for people to help out, and I really want to educate people on all those options as well. So we'll start there.
That's what it's all about. So either one of you.
So I think, one of the things I've always liked about Clawson is that we have that sense of community. I've actually, I've been here 26 years. I've seen my street turnover. We were talking earlier about people moving on and leaving and that sort of thing. But it's always been that kind of community where when my kids were little and they walked down the street and the lady down the street wanted to give them ice cream cones, we knew that lady down the street and it was okay. So that we knew our neighbors, we could talk to our neighbors. Whenever you run into someone from Clawson when you're out of town or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, they're family and they're people you can talk to, and just have that sense of community. And I think perpetuating that, making sure that you always feel comfortable talking to anyone on council or anyone at the city hall, and you feel comfortable talking to your neighbors, and you enjoy. That's one of the cool things about the 4th of July experience, right? It's, holidays bond families together. Well, the 4th of July bonds the city together, right? We all have that same experience. We share the memories of our kids being in the kiddie parade and going to the parade and all that kind of stuff. So just that bond that we share as a community, I think, is very unique to us.
Yeah.
And it's important to perpetuate that.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of other towns that have that bond like Clawson does.
Absolutely,
so
I agree.
I think it's a benefit that we're so small.
It is.
We all know each other, and it's all wonderful.
Yeah.
So, anything to add?
They pretty much summed it up, but I will say, you're talking about the bond. My mom attended high school in Clawson, so I grew up with hearing stories about Clawson. My aunt was Miss Clawson, which we always love to talk about. Back in the day when they got really beautiful tiaras and wore those big frilly dresses. But I, as a kid, when your parent says something to you over and over again, I don't know, you probably don't do this, but we tend to go, oh, not another story about Clawson, right? And oh yeah, we know it's so spectacular. But having come here and just getting to know the people, I feel like the people are the fiber of the city. We have boundaries, we have infrastructure, we have all those things, but it really is the people who are the heart of it, and the values that the people maintain are what I want to maintain, and I just want to perpetuate that as well. I just want to say, this is who we are, this is what we can do, we're going to take care of you first, business second, and then let's see what we can do to grow in a way that doesn't lose our identity. That's what I'd like to see.
Those are fantastic answers. So we're talking about full circle moments just a minute ago, and this is kind of a full circle moment for me because when I was a little girl, my very first public speaking appearance thing was at school, and it was about women in politics. I did a speech, so now to be sitting here like 10 years later interviewing you, all female politicians, this is kind of a full circle moment. So I want to ask, there's a female majority on the council now, I want to ask, what does it mean to be a woman in politics, and do you have any advice for little girls out there looking to get into this?
Wow, I have a lot of advice in that. You know what? One of the things that always frustrates me is we tell little children, you can be whatever you want to be. And then usually somewhere around 11, 12, we start throwing rails up on
Yeah.
on people's ambitions and dreams. Oh no, that's too hard, you can't do that. And I think it's always important to keep children in that if there's anything that you want to do, if you put your mind to it and make a plan and carry out those tasks, you could do that. So that would be the first thing I would want to tell any little girl. The other thing is I think it's important, you know, it's not just that we're women that it's great, that it's that we're all very smart, intelligent women, and that we have the opportunity to sort of live and breathe and be that in politics today. So, you know, there's a time where it wasn't that women weren't qualified, it was that they didn't have, you know, the opportunity or the social structure that they could go out and take the leap that we took. And so making sure that that's always present, that women always have the opportunities to sort of flourish and grow and sort of be the things they want to be is important.
Wow, I agree completely. That was a fantastic answer. What do you ladies have to say?
I want to add, you know, for me, you know, growing up here in town, Clawson has always supported women in government. And so I didn't think it was impossible. It didn't seem out of the question. You know, I knew Mrs. Aris. I knew Mrs. Isepi and still know Mrs. Isepi well.
Yeah.
Lisa Dwyer, Penny Lubes, and so I'm the fifth, you know, woman mayor of town, and so that again is who we've been. And so as a little girl, I just assumed that wasn't unusual.
Yeah.
And so I think that our girls will be the benefit of all of that. I have 2 girls, and whatever makes you happy and follow your dreams, and you can make that happen. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, because every time you walk into City Hall, there's all the mayor portraits, and you see like a row of women. Every time I go in to film the show, I'm like, yeah, I like that. So, yeah, I agree completely. What do you think?
I think that we're fortunate that our society is not holding women back in the way that it has in the past. And I would be careful to not just encourage young girls, but to also encourage young boys, because I feel like boys in this stage in our society are being held back in some ways. And I think we just need to encourage everyone as individuals to serve in whatever capacity that you can, whatever your natural gifts and abilities are, because we all have them, whether it's helping move tables in a community center or if it's leading a student council or whatever. Everyone does have an ability, and there are opportunities, and I think we should just encourage those things for all people. And not just kids, you know, there are adults out there who are sitting in their homes that have nothing to do, and there are so many things that we could engage them with. And if there were a way that we could, as a council, figure out how we could learn to engage our people so that we have a more active community, and it's not the same 20 people who are doing things, or less, if it's even less, then I think that would benefit all of us as well. But I think the beginning of that is to let everyone know that they have an ability and they have a purpose and that they are welcome to do it. Because I think that's a lot of times people are held back because they feel like they're not going to be welcomed into something, or that they don't have the innate abilities. But I think you can nurture those things, and I think that's a really important thing we need to do as a society.
These are great answers. I agree with all of you. We need to encourage everyone to get out there and change things for the better. Is there anything else you ladies would like to add? Anything in general? Anything coming up that you want to talk about?
I'd just like to know what year you're going to run. What year will be your first election?
Well, I'm only 17 now, so just a little bit of time. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. This has been really great. Just thank you. This has been one of the greatest interviews I've done, so thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Madison.
you.